Cambridge has finally revealed its decision regarding the examinations and the results of O and A levels. And it is the final decision. And if you want to know more, please watch this video. My name is Junaid Suhail, and along with me is Mr. Azim Qasim, and we welcome you all to Edify group of companies. Welcome back to our video. Cambridge has finally revealed about the examination of OA levels and how are they gonna give the grades to the OA level students. The latest statement released on the 31st of March explains that Cambridge will now give the predictive grades to the students based on the evidence that institution and students will provide. There is a great ambiguity regarding how are they gonna assess the students and how are they gonna give the grades to the student. And for that we will question from Mr. Azim. Mr. Azim, first of all, please tell our students that what will be the process?
Thank you so much, Junaid. Before I move on to your question and answer the question, let me clear something that we need to understand the current scenario and the current situation that we all are facing, including as an individual, as a student, and as a Cambridge International Examination. That it is a current situation of a pandemic, and it was, I believe that it was a really challenging and difficult decision for Cambridge examinations because they cannot put their credibility on stake. As we know that Cambridge examinations are acceptable worldwide in almost more than 50 countries. So, but I guess I think more than 100 countries that it is acceptable around the globe. So it was really a difficult and challenging task for Cambridge examination, and they have played their cards very well, and they have finalized.
I think it's the best outcome that one can expect of.
Yes, I can say that this is the best decision that an individual or an organization can make. Coming towards your question, that the process and the whole scenario, how it will work, the flow of this the current scenario, on an official statement that it was released from the Cambridge examination on 31st of March yesterday, they have cleared that they're gonna use the system of predictive grades to allocate grades to the prospective students. But the thing is that they're gonna allocate the grades on the basis of evidences, and they have assigned 2 months to university, to schools, institutes, and students to collect the as much evidence as they can, and they have given some of the clues that they can use to allocate grades, that like coursework assignments and lot of other things that they have mentioned on this statement. And they have pretty much clear about that, that they will assign the grades on the basis of their records, their previous works, and all other evidence that they have mentioned on the statement that they have published yesterday.
What particular evidence they are looking for? Like what they are looking for?
Well, Junaid, as far as the statement released by the Cambridge examination, it was very much clear from that statement that they will use the previous record of the students. Let's suppose in case of
like assignments and all the coursework.
No, I'm talking about the previous grades of the students.
Okay.
For instance, if a student has applied for the A2 exams, definitely he will have the result of AS, and subsequently he will also having the result of O levels as well. So they will consider those grades as well. Along with those grades, they will also consider the recommendation of the institutes, the teachers' recommendations, the courseworks, the assignments, the mocks, even they can also ask for your register as well, where you do have your homework regarding that. And they have also given 2 months for university to schools and to the students, that you can collect more evidence that you can able to collect, and they will come up with another statement on 7th of April that they will tell how we will now assign those grades. So the bottom line is that there are almost 5 to 6 things on the basis of which they will assign the grades. The number one is assignments, their mocks, their previous grades, teachers' recommendations, and all those essential things that could assist Cambridge University to allocate the grades.
So keeping in view the current scenario, What do you think about the private students who are not attending any institution for their OA level examination? So what will happen to them?
Well, I'm again quoting the press release of the Cambridge examination because that is the most authentic source we have right now. That they have disclosed that they're gonna treat the private students and regular students on an equal manner.
Okay.
That in the case of private students, the vouching will be at the part of the centers like British Council.
Okay.
They have also given the clue that they can ask your tutors, your teachers,
Okay.
that who can recommend that students on behalf of students. But the alarming part of this for the private student is that they have also mentioned that they can also contact the school when they were previously studying the school before they
Before their O levels or
no, before forwarding their examinations, for applying for the
Okay,
examinations.
okay.
Definitely they were previously studying in any school, but because of the financial problems or something happened to students, they have forwarded their examinations as a private candidate. So that might they need to contact the schools as well, where they can get their recommendations, and in that part you might need to clear the finance department of the school. So that I think it is alarming for the students that who haven't cleared the finance of the schools. They might ask them to clear the finance so they can recommend those students if only if the Cambridge asks for that. But if Cambridge does not ask for that, I don't think so that there is any hurdle for the private students, because it is now very much clear that Cambridge gonna assess the private and regular students on an equal manner.
So what will be the time window?
Well, again the statement states that they will assign 2 months period to students and schools, institutions
Yeah.
to collect the evidence that as much as they can. And they have also mentioned that in this current scenario where everything is remotely operating, you are not allowed to conduct more mocks, or you are not allowed to assign further assignments to students. You can judge the student, or you can collect evidence on the you can say that on their previous work, the previous coursework, their previous assignments. Those already have been submitted to schools, their mocks and their previous grades. So the time period is 2 months. In which the schools and university students and teachers will collect the evidences as much as they can, and then they will provide it to the Cambridge University.
After the coming of this great news, I personally feel that students will now do some shenanigans to temper their previous results in order to get the good grades. So how Cambridge going to tackle that?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, Junaid, that it is the matter of the credibility of the Cambridge examination. We all knows that Cambridge examinations are acceptable worldwide.
Yeah.
In almost more than 50 or 100 countries it is acceptable, and they cannot put that into the
question mark on their credibility.
They cannot put the question mark on their credibility.
Yeah.
So they have come up with a very summarized idea and a very summarized decision that how it will gonna work.
Okay.
The question is, let's suppose if a student is coming from the background of AS and he has applied for the examinations of components of the A2. So he will have the record of the previous grades, AS and O levels.
So they will ultimately know about how
obviously
good
they
the
will,
student is.
Yes, obviously they will check the previous record of the student.
Yeah.
Similarly, if a student coming from the background of O level and he has applied for the A1 exams,
Yeah.
they will check the exams of grades of their O levels. Now, coming towards the grades of the O-level students,
Yeah.
if a student has applied for their last 4 components, they will check their previous 4 grades of the previous components.
Yeah.
And if only if a student is coming from the, if a student does not have any record and he has applied for his first 2 components or first 3 components, the student is of 10th class. Here it is the responsibility of the schools that they will check the genuinity of the student, and they will pass on the correct recommendations to Cambridge University.
Okay.
Because if they do not pass if they pass the false recommendation to Cambridge University, that will either again put a question mark to the credibility of the schools as well.
Okay.
So I think that it won't gonna work, because they have the ability to judge you, and even if someone if we talk about the private students,
Yeah.
if someone falsely recommended their grades, or someone has manipulated their grades,
Yeah.
and subsequently when they will appear in the rest of the modules
Yeah.
after 3 months, 4 months, they will judge them.
So they are gonna basically aggregate that if a student scores an A asterisk in his O levels, and how he is getting a C grade in his A levels.
No, even if he has applied for the O levels, I am
Okay.
talking about the components of. We know that students apply for the 2 or 3 components in their first year. So if a student has applied for 3 components in his first year, and subsequently if somehow he managed to get the A grades, falsely or anything he has done to that, but subsequently when he will appear in the rest of the 4 or 3 modules, I'm talking about Pakistan because here students normally take 8 modules,
Yeah.
8 components. But if he appears for the rest of the components, they will surely know that how is possible that he got A static or A
Yeah.
grades in his previous components, and now he is performing under C or B grades. So they will hold the result of the student in coming years. So I don't believe that it will gonna work for the students or any other person that they gonna dodge Cambridge University, because as I told earlier that they have a history of conducting examinations, they have a history of conducting.
They are well trained. They are gonna
Obviously,
catch you
and
one way or another.
And they will never put their credibility on stake.
Okay. So what should students do now?
Well, I believe that students should go with the flow.
Okay.
As you know that there are currently 4 options for students. First
Okay.
one, that they can withdraw from their May and June series, and they can appear in the November and October series.
Yeah.
Second one is that if they go with the flow, and if they get the grades and they are not satisfied from the grades, they can resit in the coming series of the October and November. And they can also appeal for that case. Let's suppose
Okay.
if a student was expecting that I will get A static, and somehow or the other he got A grade or B grade, or he will have the right to appeal for that results.
So basically, Cambridge has accommodated all of the students from all of the genres, that no one can complain that the Cambridge has
Exactly.
put their grades low or high.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. And especially for the students of A2, they will not have any option, because many of you students are having their offers in their hands, conditional offers and conditional offers. They are looking for their results, their A2 results, and after that they will start their higher education. So if you skip this series, if you withdraw your exams, you will have to wait for 6 months more.
Okay.
And for that purpose, as we know that all the universities around the globe have unanimously decided that they will not end up their September intake,
Yeah.
and they will continue with the September intake. For that purpose, you need to have your grades in your hand. So you have 4 options. You can either apply, if you are not satisfied from your grades, you can again
Reappear in the next
next intake.
Okay.
Or you can appeal for that case.
Okay.
And even if you are not satisfied,
Or you can go with the flow.
yes, I recommend students that you should go with the flow.
Okay, so keeping in view the international universities, students who wants to pursue their masters or their international year 1 or foundation years, so what should they do now?
Exactly as I told earlier that Junaid, they should go with the flow, and they should go with the predictive grades, because
Okay.
Finally the students of final year of O levels, O3, definitely they will gonna apply for the AS, or some of you will join universities as a foundation level program. So
Okay.
you need to have your complete grades in your hand.
Okay.
So for you have to take that decision that you're gonna take the predictive grades. And for students of the A2s, the A2s are most important, because you are going to start your higher education in the coming months, 3 or 4 months. You should also go with the flow, and you cannot compromise your 6 to 7 months, because of that you will gonna get the less grade. I believe that if a student has let's suppose A grade in his A1, definitely Cambridge will assign A static in his A2, because the benefit of doubt will definitely go with the students.
Okay.
So in this scenario, I think that Cambridge will favor the students. And also they have mentioned multiple times that we are in contact with the universities around the globe, and they have agreed that they will compensate the students, and they will judge the students on the basis of the current scenario.
Okay.
So I think that this is a win-win situation for all the students around the globe, that you should go with the flow. and it will benefit you, and Cambridge University will also benefit the student.
So students, this was today's video. In this video, we tell you about all the procedure regarding the examinations of O and A levels. How are they gonna give you the grades, and how are they gonna assess you the predictive grades, and what kind of evidence they are looking for. All of the details we mentioned, all the details are correct, and this was not our personal point of view. This all information is available online, and you can see on the Cambridge website. If you like this video, please comment on it, share it. And if you have any further queries, you can contact on our given numbers. We are available 24/7. And thank you so much for watching our video. Goodbye.